Hi, I'm going to show you guys this new look that I've been working on. It's sort of a fall kind of vampy look, so I'm going to get started. I have a clean face, just washed it off. I'm going to use this e.l.f. primer, and it's a hydrating primer. I generally have dry skin, and it's kind of winter now, so I like to make sure that I'm very hydrated when I do things. After I wash my face, I also put cocoa butter on my face to also help hydrate, and then this primer is also going to help sort of moisturize my skin as well. So I'm going to put that generally all the way around my eyes because that's where I put the majority of my makeup. Make sure it's all smooth, give myself a nice even palette to work off of. Next, I'm going to take my Black Radiance foundation in Rum Spice, and I'm going to take this short flat top kabuki brush that I got off of eBay for like $1, and I'm going to take my foundation and sort of get, I'd say like 3 little dollops on the back of my hand to sort of warm the product. And this concealer, it's not very much of a full coverage concealer, but I don't really get blemishes very often, so full coverage isn't really something that I look for, but it's nice. I like the color that it gives me. It doesn't make me look ashy or dusty. But I spray the brush with some e.l.f. setting spray because I like to always use like moist brushes. I don't like to just dry blend. And then I dab the foundation all over my face before I start to rub it in and really buff it in circular motions. And I do this all over my face. I try to make sure that I blend really well into my hairline. Make sure that there's no like splotches anywhere near my face. And like as you can see, the foundation doesn't really add much of a coverage, but I do like the color that it gives me. It makes me a little bit more radiant, like Black Radiance. So now I'm going to use my LA Girl Pro Conceal HD Concealer in the color Fawn, and then this like knockoff LA Girl concealer that I found at my local hair store. And I'm going to squeeze some out of the LA Girl Pro Conceal, and I'm going to put like 3/4 under my eye. Like I'm not going to completely do under my eye, but I'm going to do about like 3/4 of my under eye area. And then while that's sort of sitting there, I'm going to go ahead and start my eyebrows. So I basically just draw like a thin line at the bottom of my eyebrows, and then like another thin line at the top of my eyebrows, and I make sure that they connect in the little tail of my eyebrow. And that's pretty much how I draw my eyebrows. I don't fill them in just because I do draw my eyebrows in with black eyeliner, and when you fill them in with black eyeliner, it looks like way too dark. But I don't know, I've never really drawn my eyebrows with brown. It doesn't really look good on me. Like, I don't know, I look like I have pale eyebrows, and I never really liked the way brown looked on me. So I do use black, even though that's kind of a makeup no-no. But once I've drawn the 2 lines, I make sure that they, are blended in pretty well with my eyebrow tool. And make sure that all my hairs are sort of facing the same way. And then I go back with my LA Girl Pro Conceal, and I just, do like a little line at the top of my eyebrows, and then a line at the bottom of my eyebrows, just to sort of clean it up. But I don't really try to make it look too perfect, because I don't want my eyebrows to look like I did too much to them. I like for them to look generally pretty natural, so. Now I'm going to go back in with my knockoff LA Girl Pro Conceal, and I'm gonna finish my under eye concealer and put some around my mouth because I do have a little bit of hyperpigmentation around my mouth, a little bit of a mustache, so I like to put that around my mouth as well, just to sort of make sure that we cover all the areas. And I'm also going to put some like down my nose and along like the protruding part of my jawline. And sorry, I'm completely out of frame right now. I have no respect for the camera, clearly. And like my nose line, I don't really do too much of a contour on my nose. I just do a little bit, so I don't really worry about these lines being perfect because I'll fix them. Okay, so next I'm just gonna spray another flat top kabuki brush. So this is the one that I use for my concealer, and I'm going to just buff out my concealer really well, all over my face. I'm gonna make sure I get some of it on my eyelid because I'm gonna use that as like a base. So I do make sure that I try to get some of the concealer on my eyelid. I'm just gonna get the concealer that's around my mouth, gonna get the ones on my jaw, all that. Try to make sure I really blend that all out. And then with my finger, I try to kind of rub out the concealer that's around my eyebrows. I do that first. And then I go back in with my brush to sort of blend it out even more. And even the same thing with my nose. I use my finger to just sort of, you know, get my nose concealed kind of out the way. And then I go back in with my brush to sort of kind of make the line a little bit less harsh. Like I said, your lines don't really have to be perfect. So to make sure that I really have some concealer on my eyelids, because I don't always like to, you know, put something on my eyelids as a base, but if I feel like I didn't get enough concealer on my eyelids, then I sometimes will go back and make sure that I do base my eyelids. But I think I did pretty okay, so I'm fine with that. So I'm going to take my Ben Nye Topaz powder, and I'm going to put it on pretty much all the places that I highlighted. And I absolutely love my Ben Nye Topaz powder. I know it's kind of pricey. I got mine off of eBay for like $8. And like even these like brushes, these black brushes that you see me using, I got like a pack of them for like, I want to say about $7 off of Amazon. Like really utilize eBay and Amazon because you can find some really great stuff for some pretty good prices, you know, so you don't have to pay regular price. So my Ben Nye was about $8 off of eBay. I feel like I think it's probably in like the 20s, I might be mistaken, maybe even the 30s if you buy it like off retail or off the website or something like that. Now I'm going to take my Black Radiance pressed powder in the color Rich Mahogany, and I'm going to take an angled contour eyeshadow brush. I'm just going to put that into my crease, sort of as like a transition shade. I like to start with my transition shade. Can't go wrong with transition shades. Then I'm going to take an NYC color trio. I'm going to take the burgundy color, and using that same brush, I'm going to focus on sort of like the half of my eyelid and then a little bit into the crease. But just make sure that I get that little outer corner, little outer half of my eyelid specifically. And normally, like if I'm going to school or something, I usually stop at this when it comes to like contouring my eyes. But because I'm going for more of like a fall vampy look, I'm gonna take this Wet n Wild trio And I'm going to take the dark brown color, and I'm going to just use a really thin eyeshadow brush and really carve out my eyes with this. And I'm going to push it into my crease and really get that outer corner. And don't worry too much right now about blending. I'm more or less just sort of placing the color and then worrying about blending it later. I'm just trying to make sure that I get it where I want it to be. And then I'm going to blend it later with a different brush. So yeah, right now it looks a little crazy because I have not really blended it out yet, but trust me, I definitely will. So I'm going to take this flat top eyeshadow brush, and now I'm going to blend out the black color. And sorry I'm like skipping around. I kept having to go back into my phone and delete stuff so that I can continue recording. So, but I blended out the dark color. Now I'm going to take my black Radiance eyeshadow, and with a fluffy eyeshadow brush, I'm going to really pack that eyeshadow onto my eyelid. Like I'm patting it. I'm not really rubbing quite yet. I'm just patting, just placing the color first. I always make sure I place the color where I need it to be first and then work on blending out, because oftentimes when I try to blend as I place, I either will put way too much product or it'll end up going like onto my cheeks or onto my nose. Like it's just like too much. This is a much more controlled way of putting on makeup for me, where I just sort of place it anyway first, and then I use this flat top brush to then just sort of blend. And you see it does a pretty good job blending, making like a nice little gradient or whatever. Now I'm going to rub it out just so that I make sure that the eyeshadow really transitions into the colors and that it doesn't really seem like it stops at any particular point. Now I'm going to take a Physicians Formula highlight and I'm going to place it into the corners of my eye. And I'm going to make sure I rub that into the gold color so that those transition as well. And I went a little overboard on my right eye, so I'll go back and fix that. But I try to sort of drag that into my lower tear duct as well. Make sure that kind of almost get it on my lower eyelid a little bit, just to sort of add a little twinkle down there. One thing that I do not do, which a lot of other makeup artists do, is that they like to put eyeshadow on their lower eyelid, and I've never really liked doing that. It makes me look like I have raccoon eyes, but you can do that if you want to. So now I'm going back and I'm dusting off my Ben Nye Topaz powder. Making sure that, you know, I'm done baking. And that's what that whole thing is called. It's called baking. And as you can see, I have not even placed any sort of contour yet, but my face already looks contoured. So now we're going to go in with an NYC black eyeliner, and I'm desperately running out of it, so it's so hard for me to put this eyeliner on right now. So I'm actually going to do it off camera. But I'm going to show you how I start. I sort of draw the wings first and make sure that the wings are the same before I go in and actually finish the eyeliner. So the wings are not the same, so I kind of pinch it off that. But now I'm going to go in with my contour, and it's Black Radiance Rich Mahogany, and I'm just going to put it in that little, you know, dent in my face and just sort of blend upwards. I'm going to go across my forehead and, you know, keep trying to blend upwards. And then I'm going to also take it down the sides of my nose, but I'm not going to do too much with my nose just because, like I said, I don't like to contour my nose too much. And if it seems like I'm rushing, I'm just trying to finish this before my phone shuts off again. So I'm going to take a Black Radiance highlight in Rum Spice, and I'm going to put it on my cheekbones, down my nose, the point of my nose, my chin, Cupid's bow, all that. Everywhere where I highlighted pretty much. Especially down my nose. I love when my nose looks little. I kind of like when my nose looks kind of shiny. I don't know. I think that's cute. And then I'm going to take this Maybelline blush that I've had forever, and it kind of broke, so it's not in its original container. And I'm just going to put that on the apples of my cheeks. And that's pretty much all I do for my face. So then I'm going to set it with my e.l.f. setting spray. And I always set before I do my mascara because I close my eyes so tight when I spray my face that I end up messing up my mascara often. So now I'm going to take my Rimmel London Scandaleyes Mascara, and I'm just going to do my eyelashes. And if I were like actually going out somewhere like to dinner or something, I would probably put on falsies, but because this is just a tutorial, I'm just going to do some mascara, and I'll show you later what this mascara looks like. I was sort of rushing right now because my phone kept trying to tell me to delete stuff so that I could actually record, so sorry for the rush. And I'm just going to do the other eye. And last but not least, I'm going to take this lipstick, and the name is leaving me right now. I cannot remember what it's called, but it's just this matte lipstick. I got it at Target, and I cannot remember what it is called, but I'll put the name in the description box below. And then I'm all done. Just letting my hair down, and that's it. Thanks for watching, and I hope this was easy for you. And subscribe, please, and also tell me if you want me to include any other sorts of tutorials. Thank you. Bye. Love you all.